How's everybody doing out there? Hope you're doing well. We're going to bring you a series of meetings and some interviews to answer some questions from our head coaches here at Moore Park High School. I'm Ryan Moore, our boys basketball head coach. I'm just going to kind of facilitate things today, but we're lucky to have Scott Mangers, our co-head coach for track and cross country, joining us today. He's been the head coach at Moore Park for the last 13 years. Began his coaching career in Illinois back in 1997. He teaches on campus. He teaches Math 1, Pre-Calculus, and AP Calculus BC. So he sees a wide variety of math students come through his classroom where he does a phenomenal job. Over the last decade, there have been 16 trips to state cross-country meets under Coach Mangers and Coach King's leadership, which is just a phenomenal rate of success and a phenomenal rate of growth since they've been our coaches here. And with that success comes the ability to move student athletes on to the next level, and most notably, Michelle Magnani, the class of 2016, who was an under-19 national cross-country champ, and she's currently running at the Division I level for Oklahoma State. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Coach Mangers. All right, so Coach Mangers, thank you for coming on. We just gave your intro with your illustrious bio and your history at Moore Park High School, which is definitely well accomplished. But why don't you give us an idea of what you look for in a student athlete with the track and cross country programs?
That's a great question. We use the phrase all in a lot. You know, we want kids that are all in. And so that does not necessarily mean that they're an accomplished runner when they show up. We have some kids that show up to our team that can't run one lap on the track without stopping when they start. And that's fine as long as they're committed to getting better every day. That's a wonderful thing about our sport. It's very easy to measure progress. And so that kid that can't run a mile without stopping or even a lap without stopping, after a couple of weeks and a couple months of training is now running 5-6 mile runs, and their 3-mile race time is getting lower and lower. And that's what excites us as coaches, pushing each kid to be his or her best, regardless of where they come in. So that's really the one requirement we have. We say there's 2 team rules. That sort of is the second one, doing your best every day, being all in. The first one is you kind of got to like to run. I mean, so if you like to run, you're willing to be all in, we got a spot for you.
There you go. I like that, all in. And so as someone that figures out they want to be all in, when are tryouts normally? Obviously, we're dealing with, constantly changing schedule at this point. But when would tryouts normally be for track and then for cross country or vice versa?
Yeah, so for cross country, we've typically done the very first week school gets out, we meet, and we practice in the mornings during the summer at 8 a.m. That kind of gives us a little bit of momentum. We do a week together, and it's a way for an athlete to try on the team. I mean, no obligation. Come out and run a few days with us, see if you like it. And then we continue to practice throughout the summer after our CIF break. Track is a little bit different, being a spring sport, so we usually get kids out for a tryout of sorts. And again, the tryout is just to kind of see who we have. It's not there's no standard to hit that says, if you can't run a mile under this, you can't make the team or anything. It's just come out and see what you got, and then just kind of establish some protocols for the fall. But we've typically opened the weight room some in the summer for track, but no official track practice in the summer. We just start running in August.
Nice. And along those lines, after tryouts, everyone wants to know who gets cut, who makes the team, how do you move forward from here, how many levels? So how many student athletes do you normally keep for each sport?
So we keep everybody that's all in. There are absolutely no cuts for track or cross country. Cross country, we've had as many as 155 athletes. Last year, we're a little bit on the small side for us, about 75 or 80. And then track and field, we average between 220 and 250. It's the largest co-ed program on campus. And again, no cuts. If you want to participate, you're in. And the cool thing is there are various levels at each of our meets. And so pretty much everybody gets to do every meet. We have a few varsity-only invitationals, but, if you're all in and you want to compete, you'll get a chance every week in either the track or the cross-country team.
Nice. And then, as you move into that season, you got highs and lows. You got what are some of your favorite things and some of the highs, as it pertains to your sport and track and cross country?
Yeah, great question. There's a lot of memories made at different courses. Every course has its own personality. The most famous cross-country course in the Western United States is Mount Sac. They have an invitation they've had for 75 years. And so you can say, hey, I ran Mount Sac, and I did too, and share stories about memories there. But even more important to that than me is what I said before, just a chance to PR. And so measuring yourself against yourself, trying to beat the course, trying to beat your time. And when kids work hard in practice and we see that fruit in meets, again, it doesn't matter if it's a kid running 15 minutes, as we had Keith Murray do this year, or a student that started running 28, now they're running 25. I mean, that's what we're looking for, improving every day, and those are exciting times for us.
Kind of the ultimate you versus you sport. And
It
then if someone's coming into Moore Park High School right now, or someone that's already at Moore Park High wants more information about your program or how to get involved, what's the best way for them to get more information at this point?
Yeah, so we got a pretty good website that we update, and if you Google Moore Park High School cross country or Moore Park High School track, it'll be the #1 and #2 hit. They're also linked to our school's athletic page, as well as on just the high school page in general. So I'll be delighted to answer any questions that come from that. It's got our email on there. It's also got our cell phone numbers, so phone call, email, text, whatever. We love to get questions because this is what we love to do, and hopefully we'll be back doing it in person soon. But website's a great place to start for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Coach, for the information, and hope we see you out there real soon.
Hey, appreciate it, Coach Moore. Thank you.